CeeLo speak. I am the commentator for the Season 4 Race 2 in the Pro Lobby, racing at Fuji Speedway, if I'm not mistaken. It is, like I said, the second race. It should be a very good race. It should be fairly close, just looking at the practice. So we've got 15 minutes, I believe, a practice, and then we're going on to the qualifying, which is again for another 15 minutes, and then a 40-minute race. In this particular race, you have to use two compound tyres. I believe the majority of the race will be using the softs and mediums. Of course, has their pros and cons. If you use the softs at the start, you tend to obviously get away faster if they're using their mediums, but then of course your tyres will wear out sooner. And then when you go on the mediums and the other guys use the softs, that's when they should catch up with their lap times. But yeah, it should be an interesting race. I'll show you some of the footage with some of the guys before we go on to qualifying. So first we have my brother GLR Mikey. He's racing the AMG. Again, very competitive car from what I see so far. We have Oxar in the Corvette. In the finish, you know, the Finns are obviously very good at racing as well, so it should be interesting. We also have Minko in the Porsche. Again, is once again another very competitive car. Should be a very interesting race, as I said. Then we have Linen, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, so sorry if I butchered your name, mate. He is in the Audi R8, which again is another good car, but does suffer on the straight, so could be a factor, particular racing at Fuji with a long arm straight. Then we have Vines Racing, another competitive guy, should be fighting with the podiums, who is also racing in the AMG. We have Captain Emerald in the BMW M6, which is an interesting choice, but if I'm not mistaken, from memory of Gran Turismo Sport, it's quite a fast car on the straights, but can be quite a handful when it comes around the twisties, but shouldn't be too much an issue. Maybe when it comes to Sector 3, which is quite a tricky section to get right in any type of car, particularly using the M6. Then we have Butson in a very interesting choice, using the Ferrari 458. Again, not too sure if the BOP has been quite harsh or if it's been quite good when it comes to using this car. So what we'll do, we'll go on to this view here. We'll check out Mikey and see how he does, just checking out a lap. And throughout the race, I will try to use sort of different sort of camera views. So I use this one to be quite of an immersive system. This one's quite a cool one as well, just trying to get some views, because obviously the GT7 graphics are quite amazing. And even this one's quite a new look for Gran Turismo 7. It's quite interesting to see more of the interior of the vehicle. But what I tend to race, not everyone tends to race, but I use the hood cam. Purely for me, when I use it on Gran Turismo and as well as the Assetto Corsa, I feel it's better lines. You can get more of a peripheral view, and you get a great idea when it comes to your lines, braking points, and all that type of stuff. So we'll sit on Mikey doing this particular lap, and I will go quiet for the next minute or so, and just to enjoy the laps. So enjoy. So Mikey, they're currently with a 139.3. Got Vines currently with a 138.9, which is quite a good lap. Let's see if he can beat his current best. just outside of it. Boxer. So a quick view of this lap here, just the beginning of the lap. Let's see what we can achieve. Currently fast in sector 1. And again, apologies if the stream is quite laggy. I know it's a real sort of common fault at the moment with Gran Turismo. It's just quite a laggy servers, but hopefully it doesn't affect too much when it comes to viewing the races. Slightly wide there. See if we can make up this last. This last turn you really got. I've always found go wide and cut in. He's probably gone a bit too wide there, but has cut it nicely. Again, the leg doesn't really help, but I would suspect he should be in the low 139s here. Up 139.5. Let's have a different view. So, got Butson currently fastest lap so far. See if we can keep control in the tricky. Oh, just messed up there. But you see what I mean by sector 3. I know again, so to keep repeating myself, the lag is horrendous. Hope it does improve during this stream of the race. But as you can see, the sector 3 is totally different compared to sector 1 and 2, where it's quite free flowing, quite fast, where 3 is very twisty. So if you get too happy in the throttle, particularly with worn tyres and the soft soil mediums, you know, it is very prone to spinning. So I think tyre management is quite key, not to push it too hard, to try to give that extra lap of tyre life, because in the end it will help you out during the race. Linko just with the fastest lap so far for 138.8. It's quite a solid lap. We'll just stay on board with Butson for the remainder of this lap, and we'll go around the field. We've gone slightly wide there. This is what I mean by the race is soft. So you probably have, I would say, 3 laps where you can get the most out of it, and then the 4th lap, you know, you will suffer. And again, bear in mind, this is a 40-minute race, so you know, you can't use the softs too aggressive to start off with, because at the end of the day, if there's anybody else in the track who is maintaining their tyres, you know, you'll definitely fall short. So let's go on with Moomin. He's on the racing medium, so this gives you a rough idea, and the tyre life isn't too bad. Start of his coming to the end of his 3rd lap, starting his 4th lap. Get on board. I will put a view. Oh, give me a second. View of this one, of the cockpit view. So let's see on the 8th lap with Minko on the racing soft. So let's see how we can manage these pretty worn tyres now. I feel if you can do, I mean, as you can see, the fast lap is a 1:38.8 so far in the softs. I think if you can maintain, you know, sort of mid 1:39s to, let's say, 1:40s in the softs, I think you'll be doing a pretty good job in the softs. And then you've got to think the mediums will normally be about a second a lap slower. So just looking at these practice laps with Minko, he's doing quite a solid job so far. And of course, bearing in mind, as you can see on the screen there, penalties. So minimalising, you know, getting penalties, you know, is definitely going to help your race. Getting too many of them, and yeah, it will definitely destroy your race, which is obvious stating. But like I said, this race does have everything in play to be very competitive, because at the moment, as you can see, if you go to, you know, from the third onwards to half a second lap, I'm not too sure what lap Mikey got, but I'm sure he's going to be in the mix there. So we've got 4 races here pretty on par with each other. Again, it's all down to one lap. Qualifying isn't, you know, where I look at it, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So yes, you can have a good fast lap for the first 1, 2, 3 laps, but if you can maintain the tyres, then that's going to be the real difference maker in you either getting P1 or just generally getting a podium. So qualifying should be starting soon. And again, if anyone is watching, feel free to like and subscribe to the video. Of course, more content of this league will be on a weekly basis. There's also streaming and live videos and just clips of racing on Assetto Corsa Competizione, and as well as iRacing. So we are someone who's definitely looking to be more frequent when it comes to posting videos on YouTube. So hope you do enjoy. We'll just see Mikey there. I think we're waiting for two more races, and the race should be underway. So hopefully it won't be too long. We've got Simps here. Don't know if I mentioned Simps, but Simps here also racing in the AMG. Look at the position between P2 and P3, 8 thousandths of a second. So yeah, this has all the ingredients to be very, very close to qualifying. Just wish the lag wasn't here. That's the only big criticism I have of Gran Turismo at the moment, which is very frustrating, because the platform itself is fantastic. It's just really letting itself down at the moment when it comes to online racing, which I'm sure everyone can agree. So it's got a 1:39.6. Minute warning. Fortunately, my fellow GLR colleague won't be able to race tonight, which is a shame, so we're just waiting for one more racer, which is another fellow South African, Jade. So hopefully he can come in the service soon. Look at that lag. Absolutely horrendous. Oh my god. We do hope it's better for the race, so fellow watchers of this video live or back can enjoy it without the lag. So let's have our fingers and toes crossed for that. Lines there. Wide there. Looks like the race is about to start. Well, qualifying is about to start, I should say. Good luck, everyone. Here we go. So, question is, who do we choose first to follow in the lap? Maybe biased. Give my brother GLR Mikey. Can't help but to, really. But yeah, good luck, everyone. Do a nice little cockpit view. Try and keep it realistic. So, let's see what happens. Hope everyone enjoys. I will show it like with Mikey, just going through the fields. Oh, restarting, that's it, Jay's in them. Cool, we're going for a restart. Mike Lowry. Looks like we can't exit. It's not great. So it looks like we've got to restart it all together. Sorry for the delay. So it looks like qualifying. Don't know what's happening there. Right, looks like decision been made where they're going to finish qualifying. Right, let's go then, lads. Only got 10 minutes. So we'll follow Bynes in the first lap as he's probably the first one crossing the line. See what lap he can do. Losing a couple attempts there. Nice and aggressive. Could have coped with a little bit more speed for that corner, but not too bad. Trying to keep it as tight as possible and accelerate out. Brake at the 50-meter ball, drop to first gear. Or second if you can. He has, yeah, into third. Nice and early, don't cut the corner too much. Second, watch the grass there, don't cut it here. Yep, quite clean. Now here comes the tricky part. You need to cut that corner more there. It's gone a bit too wide. As you can see, saved it. Cutting early as well, which he has. So he's gone for the narrow wide. That's an interesting line there. So overall, I think he's probably lost, in terms of what he possibly can do, he's probably lost maybe about 8 tenths in that lap. So, but let's see what he can do. I'm going to predict a 1:39. There you go. Oh, no. Yeah, 1:39.6. So that's the best lap. So, let's see what Minka can do. I'll stand ball with Minka for this lap, because I'm sure he'd want to improve in that lap with a 1:40.599. Leonen, again, if I'm butchering your name, sorry mate, this got a faster lap of a 1:39.1. Oh, he's gone slightly wide there. So let's just go and ball to Mikey. This is his first hot lap. So Mikey has to be at 1:39.1. clean line there. Accelerate out. Fairly clean. Probably could have done a little bit faster. Don't go too wide in this lap. And this corner, sorry, which he hasn't. Perfect. Got out wide, then cut in early. First gear. Tuck it in, or second. Probably a little bit wrong. Probably GT Gran Turismo 7 days, but not too bad there. Again, cut wide, brake, cut in early, and accelerate roundabout now. As soon as you get off that corner. Not too bad. So Mikey saying he's done a 140.2. This guy on board with Butson, who is 3/10 of the fastest lap so far. He's currently got a 139.4. Great, trying to compromise. Yeah, it's predicted. Saved it. Again, the leg doesn't really help to give you an understanding on the corner speed. Currently up on his best lap though. Good corner there. Again, that lag. Oh, I don't know if he's gone wide or he's gone straight. That looks fairly okay. So he's going for a wide line and cut in. Yeah, it's a clean third sector, and he has to, so he's trying to keep it nice and tight in that last corner then. And accelerate out. So Vines has got a 139.5. Butson with PPM of 139.2. Minko just got a 139.1. Mikey just got a 139.1. I mean, look at the difference there from literally from 5th or even from 6th. Well, let's say from 5th, 6/10 off. Butson 5/10 off. And Leon then just done an absolute rip of a lap of a 138.695. That is a very, very good lap on fairly worn tyres. As I said earlier on, I think these tyres are at their pinnacle in terms of grip and speed. I would say the 4th lap. So let's see if he can improve going into his 5th lap. I'm not how sure how long we've got left in qualifying, but there's probably about 10 minutes left, so he's probably got maybe another couple more laps here, but if he's going to improve in a 138.695, it would be hard to beat for sure, and for anyone else to beat in that matter. Let's see what we can do here in this second sector. So 192 down. So you start to see these tyres, the grips are slightly getting away from him. Maybe those corners will be a lot sort of more tighter, a bit more faster, and you're sort of losing that grip. As you can see here, you probably want to cut in more there. It looks like it's fairly well, but again, the lag doesn't really help to give you an understanding of travel of the car. But let's see what he can do going to his 5th lap on the racing softs. I would predict maybe a couple tenths slower, maybe 3/10 slower, but we'll see. Yeah, a couple tenths slower. Another pretty good, decent lap. So just go on board with Mikey here. So yeah, he's gone into his 5th lap. So let's see what he can do to improve. His last lap was about 3/10 down. He's currently just over 1/10 slower as well in sector 1. But you can see between Minko, Mikey, and Katz, they're literally split by maybe a 1/10.5. So as predicted, I think, you know, for a 1 lap pace, it's very competitive. But let's see who can make a difference when it comes to race pace. Simps has got a 1:39.5 as well. Mikey's slightly losing it with his tyres. Or could it be over eager on the accelerator? Just like there. Minko's done a 1:38.8, which is another solid lap. Mikey's done a 1:39.6. So, as you can see, that between, if you look, all these fellas here, they're all split. I mean, Simpson, Moomin, and then Captain Emerald. See what we can do. Captain Emerald's last lap. Just slowing his PB, but as you can see from Vatanen onwards, if you see by the delta, even from Simps, they're all split. You know, sometimes less than a tenth, 8,000s, 3,500. So it's close. It's really good qualifying so far, which does make do for a fantastic race. And I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm looking forward to it. I really am. See, Minka's got a penny, so it's going to rule him out of this race. It's really good car control. So we could do in his final lap. Again, if you look at his time delta on the side there, he's averaging, as I said earlier on, between sort of low 38s to sort of mid 139s. If he's continuing on this last lap there, literally PB. So I don't know what I'm talking about then. If he just got his fastest lap on the 7th lap, yes, it's got lesser fuel, but the tyre degradation is a huge factor. So that is a fantastic lap there by Linen. Well done there, mate. Minko P2, Mikey P3, Oxar in P4, Butson in P5, Vines in P6, Vatanen in P7, unless, yep, he's not going again, so P7, Simps in P8 for now. Let's just see, finish the end of his lap. Probably will do, which means 8 attempts to get P. Oh, actually no, just go third line. SC. Oh, there you go. Simps just threw an absolute corker in there, stealing P3 from Mikey with a 1:39.0. It's a very good lap there, Simps right at the end there, sir. Then it's Moomin in P9 and Captain Emerald in P10. So, yes, good qualifying. Now on to the race. So there's the results. With the qualifying. And there again, as you can see, if you look at that, you say midfield really. So let's say from, you know, from Vines till even Simps, so they're split by 2 tenths, if that. Literally the whole sort of race really. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yep, keep repeating myself, but I don't care. So there we go. We have 11 races now because you got Mike Lowry. He wasn't able to qualify due to showing up to the race last. I think. Ooh, what's happening here? We don't know. Okay, I think Mikey. Oh, we've got Seal in the room. So Seal's a joint lane. Obviously, bearing in mind Seal is from Australia. We are running on, let's say, European time. So for Neil, it's probably currently maybe 6 in the morning, something along those lines. Back in Oz, back in Down Under. So fair play to Neil. So I think what Mike is doing is just resetting the lobby, putting the same, obviously, results of people qualified, and then putting the rest of the guys at the back of the pack, and then we can go racing. So Sil is racing in the 911 as well, which could definitely throw a spanner in the works. So yeah, 12 races then. And you know, I'm not too familiar with the pace of Mike, but that could be Jay. I don't know. Again, it's been a while since I've been in GT7, but I know Sil is a very consistent racer. So even if you're starting at the back of the pack, you know, I'll try and give everyone in the race, you know, some viewing time, some screen time. But keep an eye on Sil. He could definitely creep to the mid pack, maybe further if he runs a clean race. But it's anyone's guess really. Again, qualifying is one part of the race in general. I really can't call it, to be honest with you, which just makes dues for some really good racing. So hopefully soon the race will commence. I think Mike is just setting up his the grids, and hopefully we can get underway. Let's get on board with Seal. Everyone is setting himself up, and maybe a squiggle there. Oh, looks like we're going to be ready, lads. And let's see who's going to be starting on the softs and the mediums. So far, looks like these gentlemen, secret between us viewers, are racing on the softs so far. Which, in my opinion, I would probably start on the softs. Reason being because I think you just may lose that bit of time, because you've got to think of slipstream as well and all that type of stuff. So there is full starts. So what I will do, just for the start of the race, I will go from Simps, try and get a view. And it's race time. Let's see. Little pushy. Little pushy. Just run it back at there. What I will do, keep an eye on the front three of the pack so far, and I will try to go in the midfield pack as well. So currently it's Mikey P1, Lennon in P2, Butts in P3, Batten in P4, Bynes in P5. It's gone in the, try to go for a little dive bomb, if that's a fair comment to say. So I'm trying to figure out who has missed out at the start. So it must have been Sims. I know Sims was P3, unless she got pushed out in the first turn-in. Oh, Buxton just lost the back end there. See if anyone's behind him. So we've got Vatanem, Vines, DTR, Seal, Minko, Simps, Oxar, got Penalty and Mike at the back. So going front with, let's go Linen. Let's go the old cockpit view, shall we? So everything in the back, a few wides. What I will do, I don't want to keep changing viewers, but I just want to get an eye on some racing here. Again, that lag is killing it a little bit. So Seal's creeped up to P6. Might have tapped him, but again, it could be the lag deceiving that he did. Got the front here, look at this battle, Jesus. I wish this lag would F off, I really do. Little touch there with Vines and Vatanen. Butson trying to creep in the inside, I would do exactly the same. There's them two are concentrating with each other. Look at these. You've got Seal just in the back there. Just in the back. So we're going Vines here. Let's see what happens. Butson just broke a little late. No, not too bad. Still just there. Keep an eye on these two are still the same distance apart from each other. Let's get an eye on Seal. Racing seems to be quite clean at the moment. Mike coming to his fastest lap of a 1:39.2. Butson has got a penalty that's going to cost him dearly, particularly on these long straight at Fuji. Look at this battle. Good timing, eh? Mike has gone late. Tried to broke himself, which he has. See this, I think you have to look at these lot. Talk about close racing. Someone just broke himself. Oh, a little touch there by Minko. Probably wasn't intentional. Again, lag might be a factor. I don't know what it's like actually racing, but obviously spectating, as you can see, it isn't ideal. Well, there's a nice little healthy gap there. Butson and Minko are neck and neck. Let's give an eye on the front seats too for the time being, as these are fighting for the lead. So Mikey is obviously in the softs. So is Linen. Again, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, mate. But tyre wise, they're pretty similar. Linenen's probably got more worn than his rear left tyre, but his front right is intact. Mikey, again, the opposite. Fuel wise, Mike is slightly worse with fuel. See now, see that Linenen's got a second and a half on Mikey. If Linden does a fastest lap here, he's got a current fastest lap of 1:38.6. This 1:38.8. Mikey then a 1:40.5, most because he's long and he's of T1 there when he outbroke himself. Got Seal, got Minko. Yeah, pretty good. You've got Butson, then we've got Oxa, then we have Simps, then we've got Captain Emerald and Moomin and Lowis. Just keep an eye on the back for the time being to see how these rest are developing. A little wide there. Try and get a good exit here. This is where the emphasis is going to shine with that straight line speed. He gets in the slip of movement, he could be in trouble coming down to this next turn in. But I know that McLaren isn't much of a slash either, so nice and clean there. Looks good so far. Look at this midfield pack. I did say the midfield's going to be absolutely action-packed. Butson cutting the inside there. Again, don't know if he touched him. Lag seemed like it done, but he probably didn't. Minko on the inside. Minko's got a penalty, probably due to possibly running wide there. We've got Seal, so let's have an eye on these two. See if Mikey's still there. Let's keep an eye on these two for the time being. We now start to see people. So interesting. Vines is currently running on the mediums, which could be slight tap there. That's ruined. I think who was that? I think that was Vattenham, which is a shame there. They're just having a good battle. That'll probably be reviewed after the race. Again, can't really tell from spectating because I know the lag is playing a factor. But there's definitely some type of tap there. Seal is now running in P4. Let's keep an eye on this with a slightly different camera view. Let's go on your hook cam. Good exit there by Seal. Again, the real exit isn't really this corner, it's this next one. If you get a good exit, then you're in good stead for a good slipstream. It's gone on the inside Seal. There he has, but now Vines has the slipstream. Look at that in the back. Seal's going to hold his line. Surprisingly, that Porsche is quite fast in a straight line. I wasn't expecting that. Oh dear, look at that lag. Again, don't know if he touched him. Again, it's difficult to say. It really is difficult to say. I'm sure replays wouldn't show the lag. But now Buxton is there. So now Seal has gone into P6 all the way from technically P3, P4. So let's have a quick line on these front two. So Lindenen is now 1.8 in front of Mikey. Mikey's last lap was a 1:39.1. Lindenen's was also 1:39.1. So literally, if you look at the laps there between the last two laps there, pretty much bang on exactly the same. So these two are running a fantastic race so far. But as you can see, these two are pretty much 13 seconds ahead of the rest of the group. Just trying to keep an eye on the back here once again. So let's have an eye on Butson, see if he gets a good exit. See how fast his flow is in a straight line. Which slip, remember. Tried to outbrake himself, which he has done. Let's see if he keeps clean. See, once again, looks like Vines, let's say he's done anything wrong, but that's on 3 laps now. He's made contact, whether it's, not saying intentional of course, whether he has touched drivers and it has, you know, run them off track, which could possibly be looked at the end of the race. But again, I could be wrong. It's only from the spectator's point of view. And Simps is just behind them now due to their battle. Let's try and go out wide. Oh God. So Simps has got a penalty there, possibly cutting the track, I would imagine. But as you can see, these tyres, because of the fighting, you know, because they're going aggressive in these laps, you know, they are losing the grip literally by the corner. And this is probably why these mistakes are happening. Again, not intentional, it's just trying to keep a hold of these cars at this, you know, tyre degradation is paramount to ruining laps. So Seal, again, as I said, running a clean race so far. He should be getting Simps here due to the penalty. We'll probably go on the inside there. I would have gone on the inside for sure. Trying to go on the outside, which cost him dearly a few laps back. So quick eye at the front. So Mikey seems to be gathering some traction. So his last lap was a 39.0 and Linnon's last was a 39.4. So Mikey's getting some traction. Again, a couple laps ago he's 1.8 behind. He's now a second, which could be paramount in getting some slipstream. But I don't know the people's strategies in terms of when they're going to come in, you know, for their medium tyres, whether it's on the soft tyres. Mikey's got a good line there, trying to keep it intact. But again, he could be in a slip here. Again, I could be wrong. Some things do change when it comes to how close he needs to be for the slip, but he is within a second. We'll keep an eye to see how much time he does gain. So at the start of that straight he was 9 tenths behind. He's now 8 tenths behind, so he's gained a tenth. By the end of this straight he should be a tenth and a half. In terms of tyres, so Linnon's got slightly better tyre wear and he's using less fuel, so Mikey seems to be burning his fuel more. So Linnon, yes, Mikey has gained time on him, but when it comes to the pits in terms of refueling, you know, that's where Linnon will have a factor when it comes to the amount of time spent in the pits. Let's see if it changes in the pack here, so they're still close. So Fines has pitted. So Fines is the first to pit, so he was on a medium, now he's on a soft. So with my feeling, with him now pitting, this where he has a slight advantage depending how far he was back. He might have been running P3 or P4, I can't remember. But now it depends on what these two guys are going to do. They may pit now or may pit next, but the longer they stay out, this is where Vines will gain precious time on them. So let's see, it looks like Linnon is staying out, Mikey is staying out, and there's now 1.2 second difference. Now are these two pitting? Yes. They are not. So Simps is not pitting, Butson is. Masana's staying out. Nasil is now P4. But I will try and keep an eye on Vine. So he's now coming in down the straight. Mikey and Linden are halfway in the track. So I will try and keep an eye when these two do. I'm going to imagine these two will pit together. I would imagine. So Moomin's also in the pits now. Vines until he's out. Is he going to overtake Butson? Let's have a keep an eye on this. So remember, Butson should be on mediums, which he is. Let's see how effective the softs can be with this. But almost lost it. I will keep an eye on this battle for the time being, unless I see anything on the Delta, which does change. So Sil is now in P3. Going to quickly see these two. So Mike is now 8/10, so he's now gaining, but again could be using a lot more fuel, which he is. He's almost half a quarter tank, or 1/8 I should say. Use more fuel. He's now 6/10 behind Linen at the start of turn 1. Let's just sit back and just see how things do develop, because again it just depends where we can see. I think what was key for Vines was to get in front of Butson. The fact he's now behind him, which is now going to cost him time, whether he's going to be battling for P1 or P2 or just generally a podium position. So that could be key for these two in securing their P1 and P2, depending on where they do finish in the end. But Mikey is still staying within distance. He's lost a 10th from the start of turn 1, sorry. He's now just under a second behind. Monday Lunagar, thank you for your comment, my man. Yeah, let's go to Saffers, up the Saffers, of course. So love to everyone. Hope you're enjoying the race, mate. But again, let's see, because Mikey is low on fuel. You know, he will need to pit possibly now. But Linden could definitely go for another lap. But we'll stay on board with Mikey. Is he going to go in? Looks like he is going in. So Mikey's now going in at the end of lap 13. So Seal can go for another lap as well, if he decides to. He is staying out. Minko is staying out. Simps is staying out. Oxar is coming in. Yes, he is. Mike Lowry is staying out. Captain Emerald staying out. That's a good battle here. So let's develop. So Mike's now on the mediums. I think it could be a slight tap, not too sure. So Mikey has come out in front of Butson. Let's have a quick eye. So now this is the soft and mediums battle. We're going to go, we'll switch a route. Good defending with Butson there. Very good defending. Oh, Butson slightly losing it there. It's a bit of advantage to Vines. He needs his composure. He doesn't need to attack in this corner. He needs to get in the exit. Which Butson done a really good exit there. He might have cut the ball, I'm not too sure, but he definitely held it, gained some time, and that was with Wines maybe a little bit impatient when it comes to that mistake in turn 2. wide line, cut in for a better exit. Oh, he's gone wide there. Might have cost him. Yeah, I thought so. Got a penalty for that. So let's have a quick recap. So Linen will now probably come in this lap. Sil is 20 seconds behind. He will probably come in this lap. Minko as well, who's currently a second and a half behind Sil. Mike Larry P4. Good recovery from starting. He will. Oh God, look at his tyres. He definitely coming in this lap. And then Mikey is behind him P5. But again, what's key? Now Linen should be coming in. But it just depends how much time has he lost staying out for this long. Yes, he has saved good fuel, but is the tyre degradation costing lap times? But if you look at his lap times, pretty solid. He's done consistent 1:39, apart from lap 13. He's done 2:1. Even those are solid, particularly with his tyre deck. So he's still staying out. Sil is now coming in. Minko is coming in. Sil's gone slightly better when it comes to fuel. Mike Larry's coming in. Now here comes Mikey on the straight. And Linen is now on the bends. Right. Butson. So this is where Vines is going to cost him for his penalty. So he'll probably lose a second there. Half a second, probably a second, particularly on the straights. Sim's also got a penalty. Oxar. We'll give it a couple more laps, then we should get a rough idea where people will stay. So Sil is just coming out of the pits now. Behind. Aha! This is going to be interesting. So Sil is now on fresh mediums. The Butson is coming these full flap and mediums now, so you can see the wear isn't too bad, but Sil should be fine if he holds it together. Butson's going for it. I suppose Sil might go the inside. He's got a good exit, which he does, but that's a good move there by Butson. Very good move there. And Vines isn't too far behind either. So Linen has now pitted. Now I will keep an eye on Mikey. There's Mikey here, and Linen hasn't yet touched the pit, so this could be interesting. I will keep an eye on that. Let's keep an eye on this battle. It doesn't look like anything's happening yet, so we'll keep an eye on Mikey. Mikey is now coming down the straight. Now, I'm not too sure how long a pit is in terms of cost. So Linen is still in the pits. He's now coming out the pits. Mikey gunning it down the straight, but as you can see from the distance here, Linen has gone far. If you remember, it was about 1.2 seconds behind Linen, and you can see Linen, due to his fantastic fuel saving and just the overall use of his soft tyres, he has gained, you could say, possibly 3 seconds of Mikey. So that was a fantastic strategy there so far. He just has to maintain it now. Let's go back to this battle. So Butson is now obviously is maintaining his P3. Sil is P4. Vines is P5, but he's on the soft. So this is what's key. Now, if you look at my Sil's mediums, they're fairly fresh. Now, I would suggest that this would be the faster tyre comparing to Vines softs at the moment, but we shall see. I could be wrong. Good line there. Let's give it a good battle. Still should hug the inside here. It's gone wide. Nice and clean. Good balance so far. It's just gone wide. Touching that grass is deadly. Absolutely deadly. Now Minko's coming to play. He's coming on the inside. Now it's a drag race. Who has the faster car? This is the question. And Minko's on fresh-ish tyres. He's probably his third lap in his mediums. So he's gone into the slip. There's a big distance between him and Simps, who's in P7. So he's gone for it, gone inside, go back on Vines. He's going to cut in, which he does. Very good move. Little switcheroo. Very good move there. You know, try and keep on the action, guys. So Mikey has shaven half a second off his lap. So let's go look at the back. So again, Vetterman was unfortunate there. As you remember, the incident with Vines, which unfortunately spun him on the turn 1, but he's fighting back. Fair play to him for continuing. Moving in P11. Emerald in P10, Mike in P9, as you see in front is Oxa, then Simps in P7, then there's Minko in 6, Vines in P5, with Seal in P4, Butts in P3, Mike in P2, and Lindenham is currently still maintaining that gap of just over 3.5 seconds in front of Mikey. So very solid strategy so far. We'll try and keep in the battles. Is any battles happening? So let's have a look at Vines. So Vines is now 1.4 seconds ahead of Minkai. It's got a lovely slip from Neil. Line. It's got half a second. That is going to cost dearly, and probably again that may give him another penalty. May not, because he didn't gain time. That's the key. He didn't gain any time. So, but with that penalty, it's gonna. Oh no! That's a shame. Minko should wait. I know that is a coming together. Minko does drive on. Okay, interesting. Personally, I would have waited. That's generally the rule of thumb. But he must have, I don't know, that's probably another review that's going to happen after the race in terms of an incident. But now this puts Simps right into the factor of overtaking. As you can see, his penalty is going to be served on this strip right here, so he's going to come into P7, possibly P8 now. So we'll keep an eye on Oxa and maybe on Lowry, so let's see what is gained here. So here comes the penalty. So there goes Oxa. Larry. So Vines went wide there. He has to be careful. Spun. And I think this is the factor, as I said, is if you push too hard on the softs, it will cost you. I think where Vines has been battling quite aggressively, which is fair dues, he's allowed to do it, of course he is, but it's going to affect your tyres, and I think this is what's happening, where when you can close battles like that with tight twisty corners, you go too hard on the accelerator or just off a line due to battling, and you go too hard, your car will spin out, and that's a perfect example exactly what has happened there. And now he's suffering bad now, so it's unfortunate there for Vines. He's running a clean race-ish race, should I say. So Mike's just gone off there, didn't see that incident, Unless, what's happened here? What has happened here? Has he disconnected in terms of his... so Mike's gone, unfortunately. So Linden's now coming out of T1. Mikey is just behind him now. Again, shaved off another half a second since you last got on board with these two. These two, both of them running a phenomenal race. They're 3 seconds in front of P3. Butson and Seal, as I mentioned, if he runs a clean race, he will be in the factor of a podium, and it's proven me right. Not too sure how long left of the race there is. Oh yes we are, so I think it's 33 minutes gone, so we've got 7 minutes left of racing. So if you look at the lap times, we're probably looking about maybe 3 to 4 more laps left. Let's get some nice shots. So Massano, or Minko I should say, I keep saying Bassano, thinking the Italian track, but Minko. Then Oxar, and then Simps just behind him. And then Moomin in P9, Emerald and Veteran, who's still plugging along. So Mikey seems to be closing the gap, but we'll stay on board with Linden here. Look at those lap times, solid, absolutely solid. Now in the medium tyres, got slightly wide there, but again, probably the lag. But solid so far. Let's go on board with Mikey. Again, Mikey literally mimicking the lap times. Oh no! Oof! What a save. He probably would have lost about 3 or 4 attempts there. But what a save that was. So yeah, we lost about at least 2 or 3 attempts for sure. Less than 5 minutes left. So my calculations are right, it's probably 3 more laps. Butson's doing P3, we're still just behind him, 1.8 behind him. Minko as well. Good battle. So the tyres. Obviously got a slightly better tyre deg, but less fuel, so this could be a factor. Since may have overfueled. playing the hands of Oxa. Oh, commentator's curse. Look at Vine's tyre, look at his front left. It's going to be interesting to see what turn one is going to be like for him. It's such a worn tyre. I can understeer. There you go, look, squiggle. Done well there. With his long left-hander, this is what will be a factor. There you go, let's see the understeer. This is where Moomin will catch up. There you go. There you go. That might be a penalty. I don't know. Depends if the game sees him gaining time. Moomin's right behind him now, but Moomin is very low on fuel, unless he's done it perfect, but does look really low on fuel at this time of the race. Look at Ryan in front of there, losing it. Those tyres are almost finished. Roo has to play it smart here. He doesn't have to go too aggressive, because where Vine's tyres, which he probably doesn't know about, of course, but the factor here is his fuel. So Mike is now almost 5 seconds, now 5 seconds behind Lindenham. But both have run a solid race, absolute solid race. Still maintaining the gap between P3. One wide here, this could be a factor of his exit. So he's going 3 attempts there. Final lap, we are on the final lap. There we go, this is probably it, due to the time. Congratulations Dylan, fantastic race mate. Mikey P2, well done buddy. These two battle, Gutson looks like he's going to nick the last podium position in P3, with Seal just behind him in P4. Good race guys. Minko will finish in P5, Simps in P6. Good race mate. Oxa in P7. Vines, good maintenance mate, because your tyre is actually finished there, so well done in keeping that position from Moomin, who's in P9. Emerald in P10 and Fetinen in P11. So there you go. Brilliant race fellas. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Feel free to like and subscribe. Comment anything you want to see next or anything whatsoever. And I will see you in the next one. The best lap time 1:38.6. So till next time gentlemen. Good night.